stupid question, I gave you.
Thank God it's not.
There? Yeah.
Yes, it's not four. Okay, let's please stand. Let's please stand and pledge allegiance to one another. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you all for attending the special meeting to appoint a council person. Would you please call the roll, Sierra?
Mr. Esposito.
Here.
Mr. Rosanna.
Here.
Mr. Ritter.
Here.
Mr. Moore. Mr. Rogers.
Here.
Mr. Mayor Liscap.
Here. Under adoption of the agenda, we have consideration of requests to be heard and amendments to the agenda. I have two requests to be heard. That is from Rachel Hanson and Reverend Brandon Moore. I need a motion to accept these two public comments.
Motion.
Mr. Ritter moves. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Rosano. Call the vote for that.
Mr. Esposito.
Yes.
Mr. Rosanna.
Yes.
Mr. Ritter.
Yes.
Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Mayor Liscap.
Yes. Under adoption of final agenda, I need a motion to adopt this final agenda.
Motion.
Mr. Ritter moves. I need a
Second.
Second by Mr. Rosano. Call the vote.
Mr. Esposito.
Yes.
Mr. Rosanna.
Yes.
Mr. Ritter.
Yes.
Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Mayor Liscap.
Yes. Okay. Again, I have two. Please keep your comments to 5 minutes. Please keep your comments to 5 minutes. Rachel Hanson is first.
Good evening, Council. I just want to speak briefly about the process for filling the vacant council seat. I've mentioned this before, and obviously I understand that Council has the authority to appoint someone, so this isn't a conversation about whether the action is allowed. It's a question of whether the process inspires confidence. When there isn't a clearly communicated call for letters of interest, when there's no visible interview or opportunity for public input, and when a nomination and a swearing in happen in the same meeting, it can create the perception, fair or not, that the decision was predetermined. In a city like ours, where trust in government has not always been strong, process matters just as much as outcome. Even a simple public explanation how candidates were identified, whether others were considered, what criteria were used, would go a long way. The more open the process, the more confidence residents can have in the decision. We should aim to not only do what is allowed, but to do what inspires trust. Thanks.
Thank you, Rachel. Our second comment or person is Reverend Brandon Moore.
Good evening, Council. I want to start by saying thank you. Last month I spoke about how the power outage and we had a communication issue, and I have seen a huge improvement as we saw with the winter storm. You guys built some trust with our community. And I echo Rachel here. I know that you have the legal authority to appoint someone to this empty seat. I don't think it's fair to the citizens, though. I think we should have some kind of public input, whether it's a special election, which would be my preference, so that every citizen of Newcastle has the say of who sits in that seat, because it rightfully belongs to them. As we think of appointments, let's take a look at who we're considering tonight. If you look on Facebook, there are tons of comments under every Newcastle news article and in different groups of how the city doesn't trust you. And it's sad. Our citizens should have full confidence in our mayor and our council. And they should be able to come here and speak their voices and know that they are heard, just like me. That was such a huge thing, and I want our citizens to have that same confidence. But I think if we appoint someone that we know or are comfortable with, it's going to further enhance this idea that there's backroom deals and shady tactics. And we see those rumors everywhere. I look in this room and I see a lot of young people that could fill that seat. Rachel would be a fantastic person to fill that seat. Blaine is amazing. He could fill that seat with confidence and integrity. Please don't look my way. I do not want that seat. Please don't do that. I will refuse that. But if you want someone kind of like me, or maybe smarter, half of my ideas come from my wife. She could fill that seat. But we have amazing talent in this city that I think could sit in that seat and do a lot of good for council rather than going with someone that we know and are comfortable with. I ask you, one, please encourage more public input, and two, let's not pick someone that we know and trust just because of the convenience of it. Thank you so much, and again, thank you for your hard work in hearing my voice.
Okay, thank you. Any administrative comments?
No comment.
Okay, I have just a couple on that. As far as the special election is concerned for this seat, that's out of our hands. That's done by the Village County courts. Secondly, the reason that we've done this and we've done this so quickly is because time is of essence for us. There's certainly a lot of qualified people that could possibly fill this seat. We have, and it's not so much convenience, we have a lot of confidence in Mr. Bogaert's ability. We have a lot of things pressing, we have a lot of things on our agenda, and there's no learning process with Mr. Bogaert. We thought it was in the best interest of the city to keep Mr. Bogaert on because he's lent so much valuable advice to this council. He's a valuable member of this council, and we believe, firmly believe, that for progress to continue in the manner that it is, and I know it's slow, believe me, I do. I know it's slow. It's slow for us. But for progress to continue, we want to try to do this as expediently as we can, and we believe that Eddie lends a lot. He's a valuable member of this council, and we're happy to have him on board. At the same time, I acknowledge what you're saying. There are talented people out there. I just wish they would run. I just wish they would run. If they're that talented, if they're that committed, put your name on the ballot and run. Okay. Anything else?
I'd like to add to it. You know, my father had this position when I was 2 months old or something like that. And so we used to talk a lot about politics. I'm sure you can hear my voice. It used to. I'm sure of that. And you know, the thing that elections mean something, or to piggyback on what Mark said, it means something in our democracy. All right, and I used to love teaching it. You know, it's power of the people. Democracy. It's the Greek word for power of the people, and it's important. Okay, that's why when you come up here and state your case, and you know, everybody that speaks to it is important. But Mark's right. It's important that we all get elected. You go out, do the primary. You know, I don't know how many of you work campaigns. You know, but I've had the privilege of working a lot of them. All right, and it doesn't change from the president on down to city council. You know, each vote matters. Each vote is important. Okay, and it's important for you guys. The thing that my goal personally is how many seats are there? What, 15, 20 seats? Is that hopefully that we'll get more people involved, that more people will come down here. All right, there should be standing room only in this little place to sit there, tell what you believe, tell what you think, tell me if you think my vote's wrong or Mark's vote's wrong. That's what democracy is all about. you know. And I like seeing people that have been here before and are coming back on a monthly basis. You know, it's important because it's all of our time, okay? I'm going to leave you with this. I learned a long time ago, team's an acronym. And it stands for Together, Everyone Achieves More. Team. Together, everyone achieves more. And hopefully the city of Newcastle can have a team-like approach and we can do some things that we need to do to make our city better. Thank you for the time, Mr. Lisco.
Yeah, and just to end this, you know, I want to comment on what Ms. Hanson said. And it's true, there's negative stuff that's on social media. They don't trust you. No matter what we do, you're going to get criticized. These jobs, what's inherent with these jobs is you're going to get criticized. That's the way it is. But here's the thing. We're here every day. Mr. Fry's here every day. Now we have an administrative assistant. I'm here every day. Mr. Rosano's in and out here every day. Mr. Spazo's here every day. If you want to know what's going on, come in and ask. Call up. Call up. Come and see me. I put my personal phone out there for everybody at any time. People call me and they do come in and ask me questions. Call up. We'll tell you. We're not hiding anything. We will tell you. I promise you that. So, what you read on social media, Mr. Rosano said this out. Believe nothing of what you read and half of what you say. Well, I'm sorry, half of what you see.
Nothing of what you hear.
Nothing of what you hear, nothing of what you read, half of what you see. It's true. Okay, moving on. Under fiscal and contractual, we have no request to bid, none receipt of bids. We have nothing on the table to be removed and nothing for final action. Under new business, I need a nomination for our vacant city council seat. I need a nomination.
I'll nominate Eddie Bogaert
Mr.
to fill that seat.
Mr. Ritter nominates Eddie Bogaert. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. We'll go with Mr. Rogers for the second. Let's call the vote to nominate Mr. Eddie Bogaert for this vacant seat.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Mr. Rosano?
Yes.
Mr. Ritter?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mayor Liscap?
Yes. At this time, we will swear in our new council member, or our old council member. I know. Yep, I have to do it. Would you please put your hand on the Bible? Bobby, would you hold that? Good to see you, Mr. Lee. And congratulations again, sir. Okay, would you repeat after me? I, Edward Bogaert,
I, Eduardo Bogaert,
do solemnly swear that I will support,
I do solemnly swear that I support,
obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office as a council member
and that I will discharge the duties of my office as a council member
and employ the city of Newcastle, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, with fidelity.
and an employee of the city of Newcastle, Commonwealth, Pennsylvania, with fidelity.
Congratulations. I need a motion to adjourn this special meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Second by Mr. Zano. What? Call the vote to adjourn this, please.
Mr. Fazio? Mr. Rosano?
Yes.
Mr. Ritter?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Bogaert?
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't see you there.
You need to sit there.
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
I've been gone for a couple weeks.
Yes. At adjourn this meeting, we will start our caucus meeting in 1 minute.
I don't take anything personal. Not at all. I don't take anything personal. Don't worry about it.
I'm doing the best I can. We will dispense with the pledge and roll call. The minutes of January 8th and February 10th on council meetings are provided to everyone by email. We have two presentations. The first one is about our GTRP grant with Andrew Henley. Andrew, would you please come forward and talk about what we've gone over and over for the last 6 weeks?
That's all right. So my name is Andrew Henley. I'm the director of the Newcastle Public Library. It's just a brief update regarding the GTRP, which is the Greenways Trails and Recreation Program. I have letters for you all here, as well as some feedback for something else I'm going to discuss. And so if you don't mind just taking one, I'm just going to take one. So I have it. There's a, so one of each. One of them. Yeah. And then whoever wants that main packet, discuss that. So the Greenways Trails and Recreation Program was awarded by the DCED to this to the Newcastle Public Library for $100,000 with a match of $17,650. In the last couple of weeks, I was able to reposition the grant so that the city is the main recipient and contractor for this grant. This will allow the city to execute it as well as any administration on behalf of this program. And so, with that said, the Newcastle Public Library has raised $5,270.02, which we will be transferring over to you. In order to fulfill our donors' wishes and to make sure that there's transparency on this, we're just asking that an agreement be made just for quarterly updates, just saying that the project's moving forward and that we can give our donors those updates.
Okay, Andrew, if I can interrupt you, just so we're all clear here. So those funds are now are in your account, and you're going to transfer it to our account.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, once the agreement's fulfilled, then we'll transfer those over. That way that you'll have those funds in order to execute the project. I did
And the project is?
the project being the Cascade Park Carousel Pavilion. And so that 100,000, we did check with the state as far as what restricts it. It doesn't really have the restrictions that you and I were talking about. So that gives you a balance of $117,650 that you're able to utilize for the purpose of that pavilion itself. In addition to that, I received an email from Senator Brooks' office regarding the Pennsylvania Historical Museum Commission. It's the Keystone Construction Grant. This grant we applied for last year. And we were denied from it. However, I did provide you the feedback from the PHMC. This is from Karen Arnold, who was able to really give us a lot of feedback for that grant application. I have a draft of that grant application. If you want to just make the edits and use it as an application, you can. If you need any supporting documentation on it, you also can do that. That way, it does require a one-to-one match for that grant, up to $100,000. I believe Mr. Esposito is very familiar with the grant as he helped Behoit with their execution of that. They do have a deadline of March 2nd for that grant application, but it could help you in fulfilling the project itself. Yeah.
Confused. This is in addition to the $117,000?
That's correct.
Is that right?
So, yeah, we applied for it last year, and unfortunately we were denied, so we asked for feedback on why we were denied. And so Karen was able to spell out exactly like what edits we would want to make if we would want to apply again, and that feedback is here. That could, depending on what your timeline is on this project, the application deadline is March 2nd. Typically they announce in July or June. And so really you have to play with it as far as what your timeline is. But we have to also ask the question, can those funds be used as match? Whereas if they come from the same source, many times they can't be used as match among each other. But that said, even if without that grant, you still have $117,650 that you can utilize.
That $117,000, we were hoping, and Brian Heichel's on top of this as well in my discussion with him, we could potentially save the carousel. Now, it won't get to its historical integrity, I don't believe, but it saves the carousel.
Right. And I think that that's the goal here. And you know, when I approached this topic, I think it was more than a year ago already. What I really find the value of is that this is a childhood memory for many of the members of our community. And I was happy that you brought up the word team, as together everyone can achieve more. I really think that this is a great partnership with the library in order to allow the city and the library to work together for the benefit of its citizens. And so I'm happy that we were able to work on that. We wrote 3 grant applications and got 1. And so this still allows us the opportunity to move forward with that execution.
Andrew, what's the timetable? When are we going to move the funds into our accounts?
It's as soon as I can send over the draft, or I can work with Ted on this draft. That way, it's something simple. Honestly, we just want to make sure that our donors know that when we get the money, we're just going to give them updates every quarter as far as what's happening. Which isn't, I mean, we have to report on the funds anyway, so I don't see that to be administratively burdening. But if we want a different frequency, we can always talk about that.
Excellent. Andrew, thanks so much for all your work on this. We went back and forth on it quite a bit. There's a lot of hoops to get through. But I'm just happy, and we're very happy, and I'm sure you are, that it seems that we were not going to have to demolish the carousel building. That's essential for us.
Great. Happy to help.
Yes, thank you,
Andrew, quick question. In regards to the email you sent, the ones that you were pretty much. So the award is $100,000, but it says requiring a match of 17.65. So does that mean that we have to match 17.65 to get the 100?
Yeah, so it's the 15%, and
Okay.
so that is correct.
So it's just 100 that we got. We didn't get 100, 17.65.
Correct. That's
We
correct.
had 15,000 in our budget assigned.
I know, but that's something separate. I just want to make sure it's clear that in general, we did not get awarded $100,000 plus the 17.65. So the 15 was for the demolish that we were basically allocating from last year. And then when it comes to the money that you raised, is that what you're asking for our finance department to give you quarterly updates for?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's all.
so the 5,270.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then that way we can keep that line of communication.
That makes sense.
And then they did say it's a reimbursable grant, so as you spend money, then you will ask for it to be reimbursed. And then up to that $100,000 mark, you'll be receiving reimbursement.
Okay.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Andrew, thanks so much. Appreciate everything you've done.
Andrew had mentioned that the PHMC grant, Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission, and we don't know if you can use one grant as the match for the other,
Right.
which we'll have to research. But I do know that if you get the historical grant, we will have to sign a covenant after we get the grant that says we cannot in any way change the carousel. And I would suspect that that grant would be contingent on replicating the original.
You're talking about the second one he was discussing. Yeah.
They will, they're very much involved in wanting to preserve history, so they will require that the building match the original configuration.
If we get that.
Or if we would even apply for it. I would imagine that if we apply for it, and are so lucky as to get awarded, based on the quotes we've gotten to date, even the 2 grants might not be enough to.
Yeah, I was thinking that, so it might just be safe just to take the 117, knowing that we can at least do something with that.
I think just for full disclosure, you may not be able to put a roof on that for $117,000. But I'm not certain of that because we haven't designed anything. and or gotten quotes yet.
Right.
So people understand that it's a wonderful thing to be given this grant. It requires more local input. If people would contribute more towards it, maybe we could do this.
We're getting close, man. Clock's ticking. Andy, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, second presentation is the DCNR grant by Ty Rice. Ty?
All right, good evening, council. How's everyone doing? My name is Ty Rice. I'm the executive director of Flywheel Sports Based Youth Development here in Newcastle, PA. I am accompanied today by our council, Joe Lebo. We are here today as a continuation of the $200,000 Musco lighting infrastructure, which was the last time I was here to see you all. Okay, so that got passed. That project was completed in nearly record time, about 7 months from the time I wrote the grant. We received the funds, and the lighting got finished the week just before Memorial Day. Okay, so if you haven't been up to Gaston Park on the Denver street set, you'll see your new $200,000 worth of infrastructure sitting up there. So I'm here today as far as this grant to continue the building of the park. My team has identified over $800,000 in state, federal, and corporate grants waiting for Newcastle from, we mentioned the DCNR all the way down to Lowe's. That number may sound crazy, and I'm here to tell you that it's realer than the $2 bill, okay? Our team, our grant machine is absolutely robust and clicking right now. We wrote 2 grants last year, one for the Musco, $120,000, we received it, and then another grant for coaching assistance for a Million Coaches Challenge, we received that grant as well. Okay, so 2 for 2 there, and we've got these grants lined up so much so that Harrisburg took notice, and we did get messages from Senator Brooks, and they are feeding us grants that are very specific to this very big and huge 15-acre problem that we have up there at Gaston Park. Gaston's totally 36 acres. You know, the softball side has half of it, so we're specifically talking about approximately 14 or 15 acres from Wilson, Arlington, Lindell Street, and then the Big South Ravine separating the softball field. So tonight we're asking for that 30-year lease agreement. In exchange, Flywheel will assume 100% of the maintenance responsibilities. We mow the grass, we pick the trash, we handle the repairs. We're even securing an $18,000 vehicle that will be the property of the cities because you guys have the responsibilities of the entire park on the other side more specifically. The $800,000 as part of this grant actually provides us for equipment to upkeep the park as well as we do the restoration. We'll also are requesting, we'll also need help streamlining the permits for our modular structures and access to Cascade Park, the dance hall, in time for fundraising until we pay for this project. Okay. When we put up when that $200,000 Musco lighting project went up, we didn't come to the city asking for funds. It was a match grant. So the lighting system was just over $100,000. So we, as Flywheel Sports Based Youth Development, began to pay a $12,000 a month bill in the month of May because we didn't want to ask for help. We got this. So, you know, we want to show you, hey, we're bringing value. This park we know. We all know, if you're from Newcastle, you know how blighted and the area of that park has been. Okay, so we've got a strong plan, and that's what we're requesting here tonight. That's our request, and I will just give you this nugget, and this will come out some different time. The restoration of that park goes back to the aqueduct system that runs all the way through that park. It's nearly, you won't believe it, there's nearly 4,000 feet of cobblestone parkway throughout that entire park. There's ravines that were built in 1931 and 32 by Italian immigrants that walked from Mahoney Town over the viaduct to the 5th Ward for their families. This was before FDR stepped in with the WPA. The mayor of Newcastle at the time got local businessmen, and Newcastle fed itself. And those men built that infrastructure that has been deferred maintenance for 30 plus years now, and it looks awful. And this is our fix, and this is our solution. So big liability, we're here with solutions to fix it.
Sorry,
Yes, sir.
how many acres are you renovating then?
It'll be about 14 to 15 acres or so, so if you take,
But it's not flat. Is it flat down here? Enough to renovate, you're putting tennis courts in here, is that accurate?
no, the two tennis courts are just being renovated.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're just using those two?
Yes, but
You're not building more?
No,
Ah, okay.
No.
I was under the impression you were building more.
no.
And just to confirm, that, so it's a request from Flywheel, is that they need us to let them apply for the grant on their, on our behalf?
Yeah, similar to any grants we've done with storm services or anything like that, they have the project, and we, as a municipality, we'd have to give them permission. Because it's our property.
I guess the one thing though that I guess we need to think about is, and I'm not sure what the regulations would require for this grant. You said it's a DCNR grant?
Yes.
Okay. Are you looking to use it exclusively then?
No, it has to be open to the
I
public.
was gonna say, that's, because we've run into that in the past.
No, that's a huge problem.
Okay.
It has to be open to the public,
Right.
so we're very aware of that. It's a public park.
Okay, so you just wanna approve it for the
This
public to be able
is
to
for
use it?
Newcastle, Mr. Said.
No, it's fine. We went to school together. Never missed a
I
side,
just
never missed a
I just stick
Always
you on
steady.
the east side. Coach,
Oh, he
In regards
did
to
you.
the access of Cascade, do you have dates for when you would like to?
April 18th, we have one date right now. Our fundraising team is going at it. So we actually just held a fundraiser at the Resto on Thursday. It was the first fundraiser. That went well. And so we'll follow that up April 18th with the second fundraiser. And we, like I said, we've got to fundraise. A lot of grants are matched. A lot of them we can mix and match. There's 9 grants on our list total. We've already submitted an AARP grant to make it ADA accessible. And listen, if you haven't been there, you won't really know. I prefer to talk to you down in the 4th and 5th Ward with hard hats on, so I can show you better than I can tell you. Mr. Ritter, props to you. I see you out on the streets, man. I see you in Newcastle streets. Props to you on that.
So it's a request that you guys to send us, so we can use
It's our property, yeah, it's our
no, but
property.
that's what we're for him to use it for the fundraiser.
Oh, yeah.
That- okay. So you need to use the pavilion so you can do the fundraiser.
Yeah, the next fundraiser we have is we're actually having it at Gaston Park. You know, people need to see what's going on. The city needs to go on. This can't be done by Flywheel. This has to be, actually the meaning of our name comes from a book called Good to Great by Jim Collins called The Flywheel and the Doom. But Flywheel symbolizes the community. Yes, it is. It symbolizes the community coming together. One organization, one person can't push this wheel. We all gotta get together and start pushing. That's why we have partnerships with the school district. That's why I'm here today. That's why Marco helped us out with the fire department. That's why the county commissioners are helping us with property. We all gotta do this together.
Yeah, to your question, Eddie, Mr. Bogaert is, so it's a city property, so with dawn services, United Way, very similar to everything we've done in the past when the organization comes and they want to support, we basically, it's a city function that we can't sustain on our own.
No, I know, I just wanna make sure that whatever the next steps are, they don't get lost.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that he said April 18th, that's why I wanted to make sure what was the next steps to follow.
No, yeah, we'll work closely together with myself, the department head, anybody that organizes anything. It won't take over any current rental spaces that are there, so we'll ensure that it doesn't affect any of the program.
But for the business meeting, they need to, we need a resolution authorizing them to apply.
Exactly, that's what I wanna make sure, so we wanna make sure that we.
You want to do that resolution now? Is that what
To
you're
apply for the grant.
To apply for
Yes.
it. Sure.
Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you, Mr.
Guy, thanks so much, appreciate your commitment to this meeting.
Hey, you got it. I appreciate you. Nice seeing you at the library gala that Andrew's for.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I have three. First one is Angela McKnight. Is Angela here?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Angela, you have to state your name and address, please.
My name is Angela McKnight. My address is 715 Carlisle's.
Okay?
And I'm here to apply for a building permit for I got two lots. Well, yeah, I got two lots off the city, 718 and 720 Carlisle's. And I want to put a modular home on it. This is Sean, he's my rep from the home center that I bought the home from.
I see. Okay. Can you describe what the modular home will look like? And you want two of them, you said?
No.
Oh, I see, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so what we had done was
I
the
see.
first, yeah, you got it. The first
Just
picture.
one or two?
Just one.
She has two lots, she,
Okay.
And that second picture is just a random design that we put together to kind of give you a good visual of what it could look like on that lot.
Okay, Mr. Fry, Mr. Sack can talk to you about a building permit.
No, this is not, in order for this to be permitted, council will have to approve it. This is not a permitted, yes, structure.
Not something we come across recently.
Yeah, not recently, we've done it, I mean, we've.
Oh, sorry.
50.
No, six.
Oh, six.
Why do we?
It's the way the ordinance is.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
the way
a
the
type of
ordinance-
structure, yes.
Okay.
So we do this by resolution?
Yes.
and in regards to the two lots, does she have to do any possible, like, to combine the lots, she has to go through the process of?
They talked to Doug already, that's where I'm at.
Yes.
She should put it on one lot, she's not putting it on two separate.
No,
lots.
I'm
She's
going
putting it
on
on
the
one.
two, it's going on in one lot.
Okay, so it's one lot.
And you're gonna live there?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. We'll get back to you on this one. We have two more comments on this. Thank you. Oh, you got more questions? I'm sorry, sorry.
Well, not so much, this is a general question. This is because our zoning ordinance does not allow for modular.
Correct.
You said, correct.
Correct. I think it actually says that they're allowed by resolution of council.
Okay. We are in the process of doing the comprehensive plan with Michael Baker. As part of that plan, we are going to revise the zoning ordinance. So this might be an issue that we have to act on now, but in a short number of months, we might allow this use, because we're going to
Looks
modify
nice.
our ordinance.
Okay, thank you. We'll get back to
Do you?
Okay.
Okay.
you. Yeah. Yeah, we can't give you approval right now, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
Okay, all right, thank you.
This is government, you gotta wait.
Okay.
Well, you have to wait there. You don't have the right to, in the past we did it, we put some restrictions on, like that's sturdy.
What comes after this?
Things like that, I mean,
Oh, one more.
that we can model after what we did last time.
We can look at this a little closer to see exactly what would involve, and then put it on for our motion then. Okay, next speaker is, I think I'm reading this right, Jamon Homa, would that be correct? Jamon Homa? Is that person here?
Timothy Homa?
Say it again.
Timothy Homa?
Oh, Timothy, okay.
Yes, I'm here
Timothy Homa.
I'm here on behalf of Miss McKnight. I'm the project manager
Oh, you are,
for
okay,
Clayton Homes.
okay.
I don't know if City Council's aware, good evening, City Council, that in 2004, we had a hurricane called Katrina. Do you remember that?
Just slightly.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah.
Devastated the entire South. Due to that, in 2009, all manufactured homes were upgraded, all of their codes were changed. They are now, manufactured homes are now built like stick homes. They're required to meet a UCC code, ICC code, and HUD code. They are no longer the typical park model mobile homes that we're used to So I just want to let you folks know that they're built to modern standards with 2x6 walls, R34 insulation, 2x12 floor joists, 30-pound roof load.
It's good to know.
Mr. Holman, thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So, it's not we'll call it a trailer.
Right, no,
It's a modular home,
yes, sir, manufactured home.
and it's built in a factory
Yes, sir,
as opposed to being stick-built on the site.
correct.
But it meets all the code requirements.
Yes, as of 2009, because of the devastation of Hurricane Katrina, they redid the way the foundation systems are done. This one goes on piers and caissons like bridges, and then there's big steel bars that go off the frame assembly to hold it down. It comes with shear walls that can stand, excuse me, it can withstand winds of up to 90 miles an hour, is how they are structured now.
Do they put those on a basement, or is there no?
This one we're asking to be put on piers and caissons. They're 24-inch round, basically pylon. It goes into the ground 4 feet deep below the frost line. And then the main structure of the home is bolted with big steel bars down to that.
Yeah, I understand exactly. I want people to understand that because this is built in a factory, it has the potential of being a higher quality than a stick-built home.
Yes, sir. Much more stringent controls.
Right, because nobody's building this out in a freezing rain, or
Correct.
you're inside a tempered factory, and it's a good thing, it's not a bad thing.
Correct, and it keeps the elements out during the construction process.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Okay, Mr. Sean Morgan.
I just spoke on his behalf, I believe.
Oh, you did? Okay. So is he?
Oh, here, I'm back.
Oh, that's you.
I'm back. I was
You
just
need to say anything, or you just,
I was
echo?
representing her out
Okay,
there.
very good. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Of course, sir.
He does too. Okay, planning commission reports. We need a public hearing date for the conditional use request of Justin Gonzalez of 622 Superior Street. We need a public hearing date. Can we do this Thursday? Oh, I'm sorry, we got to advertise. So it'll be next March. When's our next meeting? All right, let's do it March 16th. Since there's 3, we're going to do all, or 2, I'm sorry. We'll do both the conditional use request of Michael and Lewis of 101 West Long Avenue. We'll do that March 16th as well. And we'll do those at starting at 5. Is that okay? 5 o'clock. Okay. Okay, moving on. Under petition to vacate streets and alleys, I have a request of Michael R. McConaughey to vacate a portion of an alley that runs between lot 331, 330, 325, and 327 on section 31 of the official survey map of the city of Newcastle in the 3rd Ward. This is near Federal Street. This needs to be received and referred back to the city planning commission. So, we have received that, and we will send that back to the planning commission. Any questions on this? Okay, we have a request to bid on 3 areas: the 2026 paving, the 2026 city demolitions, and the 2026 CDBG demolitions. Questions to that? That'll be coming up for next, not Thursday, right, Eddie? That's the next meeting in March?
No, that's not, he wants it just, give an authorization to the administration.
That'll be Thursday.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the no out.
Okay. Okay, there are no bids to be received and opened. There are none. RAR for bids open, referred to administration. R&R is recommending the city award the base bid for both contracts 2026-01-A and 2026-01-B to LMI Incorporated for $120,600 and Central Heating and Plumbing, for $29,700 for a total of $150,300. Okay. Did we open those bids? I don't remember opening the bids.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we opened them?
Special meeting.
Okay. Oh, a special meeting, right.
So it'll be approval first.
Okay, approval for Thursday. Okay. All right, that's why that was confusing. resolutions for consideration. There are none for repository. Lawrence County Hazard Mitigation Plan, there's an attached for everybody's review. Forestry agreement, a resolution is needed to enter into agreement with Anandan and Obarto Consulting Foresters for timber cell forest management at Cascade, Deshawn, and Gaston Park. This is a long time coming. That will be on Thursday's meeting.
Yes, and I spoke with several different companies and met with them at Cascade Park. This company, consulting firm, has background dealing with properties that are much larger than ours. They do Pittsburgh Airport property, some major over 1,000 acre state and local properties. Reason being, they have a much larger, robust staff than some of the other individuals. Forestry is a tough field to crack, and most of the time it's just a one-man band. But with the topography of Gaston and Cascade Park, they would have the equipment and expertise to go in. So again, this is a professional service agreement. So these folks they're ready to jump on board and help out. We did tour the entire park for both the sale of the timber and then the 10-year management plan. That's what they would support us with.
Okay, very good. Questions to that? It's a long time coming for that. Okay, our Comcast franchise agreement, a resolution agreement are attached for our review and consideration. Will this be done on Thursday as well?
Yes, sir.
It will be, okay. UniFirst contract, a resolution agreement are attached for our review, and again, that will be for Thursday. Purchase request, a purchase of a 2022 Ford PIU from the coroner's office in an amount of $20,000 to be paid with forfeiture funds. This is going to go to the police?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And resolution is on the table. There are we have a citizen participation plan. A resolution is needed to adopt the citizen participation plan as required under section 104A of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. Is there any questions to that?
This goes with our CDBG, our current monitoring we just completed. This was one of the requirements that we had updated citizen participation.
And then we have a purchase request of something we most desperately need. Purchase an upgraded council chambers audio system for $12,926. That'll be done on Thursday. Okay, ordinances for consideration, council approval for human habitation. I got you. Okay. So then, yeah, then you don't have to do this anymore. Right? Yeah. Okay. Orders on the table, there are none. Under discussion, we have a couple of things here for discussion. And just jump in here, gentlemen. First of all, due to our recent snowstorm that we had, I'd like to commend Public Works. Those guys did an unbelievable job. They were out for 36 consecutive hours. The job was basically impossible, but they did a tremendous job. Those guys need to be commended. It was an emergency situation. We actually contemplated calling for an emergency situation here in the city. But those guys really went out and they really worked. Those guys were out there for 36 consecutive hours and did a great job. So I want to commend Public Works, Ryan Heichel and his crew. They really did a tremendous job. Okay. First thing, discussion number 8. Raise for the mayor's office to $12,000 and city council members for $3,550. Now, first thing I want to say is this, and we've been through this a couple of times already. This is not for Mark Elisco. This is for the next mayor, whoever comes in. The office of the mayor needs to be compensated. This is a 24-hour job. There's no way that the person sitting in this seat, whoever that person may be, should lose money. There's no way. And that's what's happening. And the office of the mayor deserves to be compensated at least a little bit more than it is today. And I'm going to say this again, and I don't mean to disparage a crossing guard. When a crossing guard makes $9,000, the mayor should make $12,000. That's my opinion, and I'm going to emphasize this again. This is not for the city mayor now. This would be for the next mayor, whoever it is who comes in. So, I know everybody puts out on social media, Mark Lisco wants to make a raise. Mark Lisco doesn't want a raise, Mark Lisco doesn't need a raise. This is for the next mayor. The office deserves to be compensated. This is a very important office. It's a full-time job, no matter what anybody thinks. If you want to do it right, it's full-time. You're on the clock 24/7, and that deserves to be compensated. As far as council is concerned, there has not been a council raise in 40 years. And you guys work. You guys work. I know. Dave Espazio's here quite a bit. Eric's here quite a bit. I can contact Eddie at any time. Terry at any time. Bobby's here as much as
They will also not go into effect until the next election.
and it will not go into effect until the next election. So it's not for anybody here. I can't emphasize that enough. It's not for anybody here. It's just what the offices demand at this point. Okay, so I would like to put this on the agenda for Thursday. Any questions to this?
Yeah, I'd like to ask, how were the current salaries determined?
You want me to go back 40 years then?
Well, no, I mean, I looked online and Mayor Mastrangelo was a different mayor, this wasn't charter. His salary, according to what's online, was $55,000.
Yes, it was.
It was a different, much different. from
Right,
our-
I know, it was
Yeah.
much different, I mean, he was in charge of personnel, he was in charge of everything.
He did what the city administrator does.
Yes,
now.
that's it.
Okay, so, I also did some research that the mayor's salary could be, based on Pennsylvania code, as much as $18,000.
Yeah.
So, when I guess we were in Act 47, someone decided that $2,700 was
No, it was
all we
actually,
could afford.
no, it was the
Commission.
Commission, yeah, the home rule commission. They decided to keep it as is.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually,
I wasn't involved in that commission, so I was
No, right.
curious.
no,
How you
and
got that?
we won't say anything. But anyway, that salary, if you take a look at across Pennsylvania, the salary is geared by $5,000 or $4,000 for 5,000 residents for mayor in the government such as ours. Where this office is vastly underpaid, vastly. So I'd like to bring that to your attention, and I'd like to bring this up for a vote on Thursday. Any other questions?
You can bring this up for a vote, but I'm a no on this again.
We know, Dr. No. We know, Dr. No.
Yeah, I've said before. I mean, we just hired Samantha Richardson, who's gonna help us with a lot of the responsibilities. Chris Fry is on board and should be and is shouldering a lot of work. I think this is poor timing. Again, I think this isn't the time to do this, to bring this up. I think it's unfair to our residents for us to even be talking about this. Whenever there are so many other needs. You can throw it on the agenda for Thursday. That's your right. But I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote no, and I encourage other council members to vote no. But they can vote as they see fit.
Well, it would have to be an ordinance, and it's part of the administrative code, so it would have to have a public hearing. If you want to move forward, we can prepare the ordinance and schedule a public hearing, and then be introduced and voted on.
Terry, and I gotta tell you this, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go to you in a second. Terry, I gotta tell you, I can't disagree more with what you just said, because you don't have a clue as to what this mayor does in this position. I'm here every day, I'm here, and you can't imagine the calls, and you can't imagine the things that you do that nobody even knows.
We don't get called.
No. We're not saying that. We're not, I understand that. And listen, I don't want you to think that I'm advocating for me.
I understand that.
I'm just saying that this office demands more than what you're seeing. And that compensation should be better than $2,700. And to say that it's unfair, to say,
Call for a hearing and open up the public comments.
yeah,
And
that's
we'll hear
fine.
from our residents of the city.
That is fine, that is fine. But again, I'm just telling you that this office demands more. as far as the compensation is concerned. When a crossing guard makes $9,000, and to think that and it's measured, wait a minute, it's measured by the value of what is paid. That's how it's measured. And to think that a crossing guard is more valuable than a mayor of a third-class city, I think it's absurd. I think it's absurd.
None of our crossing guards.
And again, I'm not disparaging crossing guards, and I'm going to say this again, this isn't for me. Just say it again. So, but
Now, Mark, in regards to the fact that I think that there is some good points in regards to what you've made, but I think that also, Mr. Ritter and also Mr. Rogers has brought up some good points in regards to like timing. I think that there's be a conversation that we should look at when budgeting has to happen. From my understanding, this does not have to become effective until 2027. So,
28.
You have to approve it by February, I think, 15th of the municipal election year, which is next year.
So we really don't need to rush. I think that in general, I think we should look at the fact of budgeting this, making it a feasible, comprehensive plan, presenting it to our community, getting their feedback, and then putting it out to vote. Just basically kind of presenting it could be problematic. So I suggest that, again, we should look at this during budget time, and as well, we should look at this in regards to making it feasible.
there's 2 points to that, and I hear what you're saying. There's never a good time to do this. There will never, ever be a good time. Second of all, even if you affirm this and say, yes, we're going to do this, when that time comes and who's ever here wants to rescind that because it can't be afforded, it can be easily rescinded. It can be rescinded. So I don't know that there'll ever be a good time for this to come. And that's why it's been 40 years since council hasn't had a raise, because there was never a good time. So I'm just saying that if you want to have decent people running for these offices today, you got to put that compensation has to be made right. And nobody's getting rich on $12,000, and nobody's getting rich on the council's salary of what, $37.50. So, okay, moving on. Let's talk about the consideration of hiring of a social media person. You want to talk about that, guys? Anybody?
Yeah, so this is a conversation that I think that it's needed. Outside of the fact that Mr. Fry does a lot of the work for as many years as he's been doing it, we have successfully been able to bring an actual assistant to kind of help with a lot of the litigations in regards to a lot of paperwork. But social media is a problem in our community, and I think in the world in general. So having someone who is a full-time person that can successfully devote time, creating content, providing information consistently to the public, that way the information doesn't come from other sources, other sites, or other pages that basically like to put their spin on things. So having someone who represents the city and successfully able to have a clear voice, and again, using our agenda, explaining what we're voting on, will be very beneficial. So I really do recommend that every council member considers this and really see that there's a value to it.
What's the, Chris, Stephanie's not here. What's the amount that we have in there for a part-time social media person that can get our communication out there?
So currently we have it in the council expenses, so if it's something that you all agree on, then it will be, I think from my understanding is that the goal would be to start out as a contract position. So allocating a portion of those funds to move into that, to pay for that contract. So I believe there's $19,000 in there currently.
So whatever we allocate for that. I think it's important, especially, go ahead, Terry, go ahead.
Is this something that we should, and while I agree with the need, but is this something that we should kind of, or an idea that we should maybe table right now to see what Samantha Richardson's capabilities are from a social media standpoint? I know she's being brought on to help with a lot of that communication stuff. So there may be, we may have an opportunity here that if she has those skills and the time allows for her to help us in that realm, then we may be able to like bring on like an internship position, which would be a little bit would allow us a little cost savings, would allow us to connect a little more with some of our local colleges. There may be an opportunity. That's just a thought about this position. I think this position is needed. I think there's some creative ways that we could fulfill it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Terry. I don't think it's something that needs to be voted on tomorrow. I think we did allocate a portion of Samantha's position to this, and we have already had discussions on it, and we were building, Samantha did provide everybody today, and myself, a PowerPoint presentation based on some meetings we had last week and some thoughts regarding this, how to communicate and provide the transparency that's needed to the community. So, but I think down the road, we know that it is a heavy lift, and having somebody dedicated to it more than just the administration. So yeah, a conversation, maybe for mid-year, second quarter, somewhere around that time.
Something that, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I would say something along the lines of like content creation, stuff like that. I think is a perfect opportunity for an intern. In this world, I know a lot of the kids that are going to school right now for multimedia, for social media, are focused on content creation, and I think that's where we need to start. Really, like Councilman Bogaert said, I think we need to start explaining to folks better. Start, really getting into the comments on some of our posts and really talking to people and letting them know, what we're voting on, why we're voting on it, what we're doing, why we're doing it. But I think there may be an opportunity here that an intern can fulfill this and help us with our content creation and help us with our storytelling.
I think it's really important for us to do this. I'm meeting with Samantha, Chris and I'm meeting with Samantha tomorrow. We can talk to her about what the time schedule could be, if she could be effective at doing this. But if not, I would rather cut to the chase. I wouldn't want to have an intern. I really don't. I think we should, if it fits within her schedule and she can do what we want her to do as far as getting our lines of communication out there, then we can do it through her. If not, I think we got to move quickly and put somebody on board now.
So,
David?
From when I was first appointed to council, Councilman Bogaert, Councilman Rogers, and I discussed this in a conceptual manner. I think it's something that's vital importance to the city. I'm delighted that Neighbors in Newcastle has taken up the mantle to help us communicate better. I appreciate what the Newcastle News does. I think we really need this, and I have to say that the job description for Samantha Richardson's position, it lists public relations or communications. I believe that was the last item in the job description. I'm concerned that, the road to hell's paved in good intentions, and that I feel this is something that we can really get a lot of mileage out of with regard to informing the city about what we're doing, what we need to do, why we need to do things. I think we do a lot of good things, and unfortunately, human nature being what it is, no good deed gets unpunished, is left unpunished. There's a lot of negative stuff out there, but we have a lot of good things to say, and we really need to explain to people what our problems are, why we can't maybe live up to their expectations. The constituents that we have need to know. And if that requires hiring somebody on a part-time basis, and I'm all for that, because I think we need to reach out to the citizens and help them to understand what makes Newcastle a good place and what our challenges are.
It's certainly something that, from my perspective, that is similar to Samantha built it into that, job description. We're building that department up, and I think we're on the right path. It's just, for council, when do we want to, initiate, having somebody else come in and start that as well.
Chris, maybe in our discussion with Samantha tomorrow, we can get a better idea of exactly what her time schedule could be, what the parameters of the position is, and then we lay all that information to the council, and then make a decision. Okay?
As well, you have to understand the concept that, we are moving forward in 2026, like you mentioned, into having a communications committee that is kind of going to be working a lot with Samantha. I disagree with some of the comments in regards to that. It's not something that right now we should jump on. I think that we have put this in the back burner for such a long time that we consistently are bashed on social media because of the fact that we don't have a voice. We only meet once a month, so think about the fact of how things can proactively move. If we just consistently wait until we think it's the right time, it could be by November of this year when we finally pull the plug to bring somebody in. I really believe that we should not be looking at interns. Mr. Rogers and I have looked at this path in the past, and we have been unsuccessful, both at the CUC and at City Council. With interns, really don't work out. They are not getting paid, or if they are getting paid, it's very minimal, so they just don't put the effort that they need. So I think that with Ms. Richardson being here and having someone contracted under her, then there will be more of a consistency or more of a push rather than just having one person working it alone. Social media and communications is not something that one person can do. It is a team, and if we do not invest it, we will continue to see the same results. That is just my perspective, and that's my opinion.
And I think that's right on point, Ed, but I think we can do it quicker than November, I sure hope so. Anything else? Okay, let's move on. T-Quest Solutions, Goodwin Heights. I think Hans is here. I see Hans. Yeah. Oh, Hans. Yeah. Could you just tell us quickly what this is?
Yeah, when you talk here?
Yeah, if you would.
Yeah, T-Quest, excuse me. T-Quest is a company that I've been dealing with for about a month or so. They were in the running for our new software update last year, which happened. And the only reason why we did what we did with the software was we went with our current vendor. We just upgraded what we had, okay? And all the people that were working for us in ProShop, they were more comfortable that way rather than going to a whole new system and just having them get really upset about it. So it's working very well. One thing T-Quest does do, they are one of the premier software companies for golf courses. And what they've come up with this year is, and I spoke with them extensively about it, is having a barter system where we give them, for all their expertise, and I'll go over the detail, all their expertise with tee times for the website and for building the website, more advanced than what we have currently. There, I give them one tee time per day for their all their stuff that they do. All right, which includes a new PC and electronic tee sheet with email notification, online booking engine, ability to sell prepaid tee times online, and a self-editing mobilized website, which right now we don't currently have. What I have to do, I could go to the webmaster and say, yeah, I want to change this, I want to change that, price-wise, and he goes in, they change it, back and forth. This will enable me to go in there and do all kinds of promotions, all kinds of price changes, new items coming in, what's on tap for outings coming up, all that kind of stuff. So I think to have one tee time for the entire day, per day, and it doesn't necessarily mean that T-Quest is going to sell every day a tee time, all right? So if there's a tee time that's available, and I see on the screen, on the POS screen, that, oh, there's people coming from Pittsburgh here. tee time at 11:10 a.m., then that's fine. But then it could be blank the next day. So it's just a matter of, I have to make available a tee time every day for them, should they sell that slot. So, and what they need is, what it is the 2-year agreement initially, all right? Just to go with them, with the barter, back and forth with the tee times. And after that, it's yearly.
How much is the cost?
There is no cost.
There's no cost?
The only cost that we have is with the gas for the carts, you know. That's what I'm saying with the barter system. We give them the tee time, they give us the software package. So, and also it really enhances our website. I'm not sure whether you've gone to other golf course websites where they have the drone passing over.
I see that.
You know, the golf. We don't have that. I'd love to have that, to show people when they were going to our website and flying around. This is hole number 1, number 2.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, pictures doesn't do any justice right now, but going further down the road, you know, that'd be great.
I've seen other golf courses do that.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just, again, an ongoing thing of keep trying to modernize Pro Shop, the golf course, okay? One step at a time. I mentioned also about capabilities down the road of paying for your tee time. If you go online and you book a tee time, you can also pay for your tee time. Right there.
Online, yeah.
Exactly. All right. So that's what's going on. So
Thank
that's
you.
what I'm
Stay
saying.
right there, Tom.
Oh, okay.
Teddy, we have a possible vendor at Sylvan Heights Golf Course. We've been doing this for about a year now. Time is of essence. I had Teddy come up with our figures as to what this entails as far as the finances of lease agreement is concerned. So Teddy, could you shed some light?
Are you talking about the,
Problem solved.
yeah, I said council, you guys are looking at and consider, it's a proposed lease agreement that, for the clubhouse, section of the building up there, Sylvan Heights. And what the agreement would provide would be that the city would transfer the liquor license to the tenant, and the tenant would then lease the restaurant space, and they would be able to sell alcohol in connection with whatever food they would serve. And then if when the lease term ended or was terminated, they would be required to transfer the license back to the city. Both the transfer to the proposed tenant and transfer back to the city would be contingent upon the approval of the LCB. They're not automatic.
That's up to them to get that, right?
No, we would transfer it to them, but it's subject to the LCB's approval. And then the way the agreement says is if when the lease would end, they would have to transfer it back to us. That transfer back to us would be contingent upon the LCB's approval. And one thing that is not in this agreement that I was going to add after talking with Jonathan about this is we can add a further provision that if for some reason the transfer back to the city was not approved by the LCB, that they would have to pay us X number of dollars, maybe $50,000.
Yeah.
So we could add that.
Yeah, but that would be academic. I can't imagine the LCB would take that step.
Yeah.
I've dealt with them before. They put a noise blind there and it takes 60 days.
Yes. Go ahead, Mr. Rogers.
Penny, did I misunderstand the email that you sent a while ago about this that said that any a transfer of that they couldn't, the LCB actually couldn't necessarily regulate if they wanted, if whoever took this ownership of this license wanted to move it, like they couldn't necessarily regulate it, or did I misunderstand that?
Oh, no, they couldn't move it.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to.
No, that they could not enforce, they couldn't, I thought that email said that they could not enforce any stipulations we put on moving that liquor license.
They would.
Like, let's say we transfer the liquor license, and that person says, I can't make a living at Sylvan Heights. I'm going to move my interests to, somewhere off-site.
Yes. They would have to get the
I
LCB.
thought the LCB said that there is they can't necessarily regulate any kind of stipulations that we put on that.
No, they would have to approve them transferring it anywhere. I mean, this is liquor licenses are very site-specific, and I mean, even as far as if you have a building and there might be a room that's not even part of the licensed facility, I mean, it's very specific. So this license is just for this specific area at Sylvan Heights. So if they wanted to move it, they could request that from the LCB. And I mean, technically the LCB could approve it, but our agreement would say that, and it actually does say that they cannot move it. If they do, it's a breach of the agreement if they seek to do that.
Sure. And
I
Ted,
understand that, and I understand all of that. But what I'm saying is that the LCB could approve to move it,
Correct.
despite the agreement that we have,
Correct.
and we would not be able to enforce any kind of agreement that we would have,
Well, I mean,
stating that they cannot move it. So they could, essentially, they could just move it, they would just have to appeal to the LCB, and the LCB could say, yes, that's allowable, and then we're so nice about liquor license.
and then we would have to file suit to enforce the agreement. Once they try to move it, yes.
but the chances of that happening.
They've already given us,
The LCB's not gonna get involved in our
to
dispute.
say,
Yeah, they're not gonna get involved in our dispute. They're not gonna stop it.
but just trying to clarify.
Yeah, they're not gonna stop the transfer because of our agreement, but we would have to enforce the agreement in court, yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
that just, I don't believe there's any chance of that happening. None. Zero.
I mean,
I just don't, no, I mean, come on. Look, we're looking for this vendor for a whole year. Now, we're gonna potentially queer this deal because they might decide to move? Come on, guys.
it is a possibility. I mean, the vendor has to be open to its own interests, right? Not the interests of Sylvan Heights. So we have to be open to the interests of Sylvan Heights. I'm protecting the interests of Sylvan Heights.
Yeah, I get it. All right,
That's
anyway, Teddy, all the finances though, we worked that into the lease, is that correct?
What the staff provided was the revenue that we generated from the liquor sales at Sylvan Heights. The agreement would allow us to continue to sell beverages ourselves, snacks like chips and candy bars, things like that we have. But the sales of alcohol at Sylvan Heights is what the lease rental amount would be based on.
Yeah, the sale of, and then sale of pops and chips came to $15.86, so that's negligent.
Yeah, but we would still be able to sell those things.
I understand that, I understand that, because if we move that into his domain, then his lease goes up, so it's a push. But as far as movement is concerned, again, but we have it in the lease agreement that it can't be moved, isn't that accurate?
Yes, but I will interrupt you to say this, that the LCB won't enforce that.
Good luck in court, I would say. We can defend that. I just don't think it's possible. At any rate, so if you have that agreement and you've emailed it to everybody,
Yes,
we have.
I want to add, and I'll add that one provision that I just mentioned here. I'll redline it and send it to you guys tomorrow so you can see specifically.
And can we have that agreement as hard copies or email for Thursday night? Because I'd like to get this done, because obviously they're going to need time to get things set up there. I mean, it's gonna be 60 degrees on Friday. You're gonna get guys out there golfing.
Yeah.
So do we do this Thursday? Okay,
It'll be ready for you guys to vote on it, yes.
all right, let's do it. Either vote it up or vote it down. Can't keep them hanging there any longer. Okay?
We'll have to put it down or more about.
Right.
In general, I don't think that this is the right path, so I'm just making sure that everyone's aware that this is not something I feel comfortable.
Why, Ed?
The concept of losing our license is a little scary. I just want to be
work hard
upfront.
for that license.
Huh?
We work hard for that license.
I just want to be front. I want to be upfront. I think this whole idea, and when I was involved in this conversation, the dynamic of it was either to create some sort of like hiring this young man as a part timer so he can work under our liquor license, but transferring over our liquor license seems a little bit. How much are we going to charge him for this lease? Can we share?
I think it's $850 a month. That's what.
Yeah, for $850 a month, I don't think that's a feasible amount for me to lose a license.
Let me say this. Sylvan Heights has a lot of potential there. It has a tremendous amount of potential. And what we have to do is separate ourselves from the local competition as far as business is concerned. The other competition is Castle Hills. It does not have this amenity. This is going to be an amenity for our golfers. This is a boom for Sylvan Heights. It's a boom for us. For us to be able to actually have almost like a country club setting in Sylvan Heights, I think is very attractive. I think the chances of him moving a liquor license, because actually I'm sure the vendor's going to be here on Thursday. He will probably tell you on no uncertain terms, I have no intention of ever doing that. I can guarantee you he's going to say that. Additionally, I think the chances of that happening are zero. And yes, I would be willing to bet our liquor license on it and put my.
It's also my understanding that just whenever he presented to us originally, that he said with or without the liquor license he was open to this. So if he's open to this without the liquor license, I don't know why we wouldn't then just realize the profits that an increased food offering, and people wanting to hang out and stay and get their alcohol from the city, but their food from a vendor. I don't know why we wouldn't explore that option if he's open to it.
I don't think there's enough profit in that arrangement for him.
What I'm saying is that's not up to us. Like, he said he's open to that.
Yeah.
If he's open to that, then I think that's the path that we go down.
I can tell you,
it just makes financial sense for Sylvan Heights. Like, Sylvan Heights is in the business of trying to make money, right? Because Sylvan Heights wants to be profitable, so we can put money back into Sylvan Heights. And this is a revenue stream. I think we should pursue that.
Well, there's two things to that.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, he's backed up on as far as the liquor is concerned, doing it without the liquor license. He wants the liquor license. But additionally, the lease.
So he said no, that's a non-starter.
That is correct. It's non-negotiable. But,
okay, well, there you go.
But as far as the lease agreement and the monies that we get monthly is what we would be making anyway if we had the beer sales and the food sales.
But if you're in, okay, this is a non-argument for me.
It was working, we know that, but it was working. It was working within our agreement that we would not lose any money in the beer sales or the food or anything else that we did. That's why the lease agreement is at $850, because it's still equal to what we would be bringing in anyway. And all we're doing is providing an amenity for our golfers. That's it. But again, I mean, we'll put this on the agenda. You voted up or voted down. That's it. Okay. Any other questions today?
Okay, my main concern is just with the ADA. That's a whole different ballgame over there. Trying to have accessibility to the upstairs, to the clubhouse. How are you going to get up there?
How's it? Well, how does anybody get up here now?
I just walk up there.
Yeah, right.
I'm
You
just
say
saying,
walk up there.
if you want to get up there with a cane or something like that, you can't make it up there.
Yeah.
They still want to enjoy the clubhouse and the.
Well, they can sit outside though.
They
Sit
could
outside.
yeah,
They could go right there.
Right, they could.
They could go right outside.
Yeah, the bathrooms upstairs, they need a total, Chris,
Yeah.
they need a total upgrade up there to be compliant.
Well, you have that issue whether we do this lease or not.
Yeah.
But as far as anybody enjoying a beer, if they can't make it upstairs, they can go sit right.
Is that part of the license?
Is that second floor part of the license?
I believe it is.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? All right, moving on. Thank you, Lon.
All right.
Recognition of firefighters for meritorious service at February 19th council meeting. Is that Mike Kobe?
Yes.
Oh, hi, Mike. Hi.
Good evening, everybody. How are you all?
Good.
How are you, young man?
Well, thank you. So this was actually initiated by UPMC Jamestown Hospital. 3 of our firefighters responded to 2 separate childbirth incidents on October 4th of last year. Both had successful outcomes. Our firefighters and assistant chief played an integral role in ensuring that went smoothly. So Jameson actually initiated the process, provided the recognition certificates, and it's kind of like the thing with the EMS people, but we get stork pins when we deliver a baby. So they provided the stork pins. I just wanted to make those folks known to the public that they went above and beyond, did a great job. And by the way, these happened 26 minutes apart. So they delivered the first one and then left there and went straight to the second one.
Okay, good. Hey, are we swearing in a couple firefighters?
Yeah, that's an executive. We have.
I see that.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thanks, Mike.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to, I had the unfortunate circumstance last night to come upon an automobile accident at the corner of Wilmington and Edison.
Yes, sir.
And I witnessed the fire department respond to that, as well as our police department, and was very impressed with the professionalism that I
Thank you,
saw.
sir. They worked very hard at it.
And it was quite serious accident, and they were right on it, and it was just, I was proud to see that they behaved and
Yes, sir.
performed.
Your personnel down there worked very hard to achieve that level, so they appreciate the recommendation or the recognition. I'll pass it on to them.
Thanks, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Okay, before we go into executive session, couple announcements. Our Ethnic Day celebration will be August 29th. Our lineup is Red Coat Band, Wrangler Band, the Jeans, and Total Package. All free to the city and free to people coming in. Our summer concert series has expanded. We have 9 shows this summer, beginning June 12th and running to August 21st. We have the 12th Street Band, we have the Jeans, we have the Wrangler Band, Classic Hit Band, Memphis Honey Blues, Mr. Miyagi, Grandview Soul. We have Trace Lads, which is a well-known band throughout Europe, and the Durrells. So we got a great show. And you're doing the fireworks concert downtown with their, third year.
Yep, third year, we're gonna have our firework festival as usual. This year it will be July 18th. We're creating a committee of volunteers that are gonna be helping and leading forward. As America 250, this is gonna be a big year, a lot of fireworks and some extra stuff. So we're really excited. We're excited to see everyone downtown.
So we have a lot of festivals and we have a lot of bands coming in. Good stuff. Okay, we have to go into executive session. Oh, something else. David, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that, while we prolonged this meeting because of all this discussion, I think it's really good that we do this. If the public can be patient with us, you get to see democracy in action. And you get to be informed. And, piggybacking on our discussion about communications, I think this is really good for us to do. We don't do it often enough for the public to understand how we think about things and deliberate and try and do the right thing. So.
Okay, in executive session, we'll be discussing the city administrator's contract, the promotion of a full-time firefighter and assistant chief, a threatened litigation between the Lawrence County Drug and Alcohol Commission versus the City of Newcastle, and also the sale of leased property at the Shenango China agreement. So that will adjourn this meeting. We'll move to executive session. Comprehensive